There it is, guys, E3. We're here, it's Ben from NGB. Basically, I'm going to take you around the show floor and show you what we have. So, we will start off by going this way. We've got Turtle Beach up there, the makers of the fine headsets and everything else that you've got there. Out there is kind of all the crazy queuing that happens straight away. But coming back in, the Xseed booth with some weird standees there. This is kind of a bit of an empty time at the moment. It's a bit strange. You've got Focus Home Interactive at the moment there with Technomancer and a trailer that's playing constantly. You'll find this a lot when you come to any convention, particularly with E3, just basically where there's trailers going all the friggin' time. Got some smaller booths here, like Vuzix, Plantronics, the headset folks. Some smaller little retailers there, and here we have Razer's booth, Wireless Freedom Game Fidelity, about headphones. Retailers just hawking their wares, as it were. So next up, we have the Oculus booth. Now the Oculus booth is pretty huge. These are all people waiting to play VR. There are some hefty lines. Hello. Yeah, there's some hefty lines for VR stuff, and obviously, you know, if you're willing to wait, you can get some time on. Again, just looking across here, we have Razer's booth again, and here is the Nintendo booth. No, I'm good, thanks. Right, so here is the Nintendo booth. We have a separate thing up for Nintendo's queue, because this queue is insane. I mean, this is the viewing only queue, and that's just as bad. I mean, fair play. Nintendo have gone all out. What was that, a Breath of the Wild? They've gone all out, and it looks amazing, but the booth itself, yeah. You'll find a lot of E3 is kind of spent, or indeed any convention, navigating your way through busy little walkways with people that aren't looking where they're going, myself included, if I'm brutally honest. So here we have Sega and Atlus's booth. Currently they are talking about Sonic Boom, not for me. We've got a woman hugging Ratchet, because why not? There he is, that's quite terrifying actually. Nintendo Treehouse booth, stream. So they're currently talking basically about Zelda all the time. Then we've got the PlayStation booth right here. So we've got GT Sport first up. Essentially there are lots of little demo pods set up to play Gran Turismo, GT Sport. There's a queue here which is quite bizarre, if I can just squeeze my way through it. Yeah, this is quite a strange thing. The Nintendo booth, there's a video up. We've kind of done the Zelda queue, as it were. In there, it's incredible. Like they've gone absolutely all out for Zelda, and they've basically made a mini Hyrule. So this is what this queue's for. The queue there is so that you can pet the weird cat thing from The Last Guardian. People are interacting with it. It's quite cool, but again, quite strange. So this is the next thing you'll find at E3. Demo halls. So you've got Call of Duty, we have God of War, and we have Days Gone at the end. So I might actually go and join the Call of Duty one in a bit, actually, because it doesn't look like there's a huge queue for that. So I'll see what's going on with that. I think they're also showing the first level of the Modern Warfare remaster as well. So this is quite cool. Okay, next up we've got Horizon Zero Dawn with a weird little dinosaur thing. Share your watch encounter, probably will do. And again, lots of little demo pods set up for stuff there. PlayStation VR. Plenty of demo pods for loads of different games. The PlayStation VR stuff is kind of all here. They've got Batman, they've got Rigs up at the top, and then they have a bunch of other ones. I'm really disappointed, but I've not had a chance to play the Batman VR yet. I don't think I'm going to get a chance either, so that's probably going to have to wait till Gamescom. Also, we have, of course, just announced Resident Evil VR, Resident Evil 7, where you can play that terrifying demo in virtual reality. So that's the PlayStation booth. Let's make our way along. If you don't like crowds, E3's not for you. So, coming up next, the iconic E3 shots of the PlayStation booth on one side, the Xbox booth on the other side. People queuing, always queuing. If you're actually hearing me talk during these bits, because I've not actually edited, so apologies, but I kind of wanted to make it so this flowed quite nicely. Okay, so we've got ReCore. ReCore is playable on the show floor. There's a small queue as well, I might join that in a sec. We've also got Gears of War 4, and then we have the new controller, customize it. We've got a bunch of demo pods all the way around this. We've got Killer Instinct, got Dead Rising 4. Oh, that was a bit blinding. We've got the media bit up there, which we're not allowed up in. We've also got a whole load more stuff. The booth's actually quite big, and this bit here is dedicated to Windows 10 stuff. So sort of Xbox on PC, along with some crazy case mods. And this is just nuts. So this is all of the Xbox booth. We've got Battlefield over there as well. Now the thing is, EA have got their own thing this year, and Microsoft are showing off Battlefield, on the behalf of EA. So that's essentially those two booths. That's the main section of it all. There is one more booth that I want to show, and I'll cut to that in just a second. Okay, so coming away from Microsoft, we've got stuff from PvP, talking about their accessories. We've got people there. We've got a GameSpot booth. GameSpot and IGN, essentially next to each other. They're doing their live stream stuff. So that's right there, right now. We have right here a GameSpot mural made of Airheads. Yeah, it is Airheads. Airheads are without a doubt the scariest sweets I've ever eaten. They essentially made me have what I can only describe as the biggest sugar rush of my life, and I was not very well afterwards. So we're moving back past Nintendo. Main reason being that I just wanted to show one little section of the hall that I just think is hilarious. Usually when you get to conventions like this, you've got obviously the big retailers, the big console manufacturers, the big boys. But there's one booth which is just tucked out of the way and is hilarious. To be honest, you might be wondering why I'm taking you this way instead of looking at all of that cool stuff over there. There's a reason. When we get there in just a second, we'll be able to see quite a large crowd gathering around quite a small booth. I'll show you exactly why. If you want to buy some stuff, we have another store of geeky things. Makers of some drones and stuff. However, I'll buy some chairs. However, this is one of the most popular booths at E3 this year. It's the North America VR booth, which is essentially your home for some VR smut. So, less said about that the better. Yes, I did try it on the HTC Vive, and yes, it is absolutely terrifying because the women all appear to be 10 feet tall. Well, the men, if that's what you're into. Didn't necessarily go down that route, but you know, fair enough. Anyway, moving back into everything kind of huge now. We've got a few more smaller things here. We're coming up to Capcom, as you can probably see by the rather large Monster Hunter balloon. I mean, that thing is huge. And then we've got a little Ace Attorney section, a Dead Rising 4 demo station, some Capcom buyable stuff, but by far the biggest thing in the Capcom booth is the Resident Evil 7 house. Some pretty impressive stuff here. Basically, yeah, Resident Evil 7. They've made a house. This is a very close second for the best booth. I mean, 2K's booth is absolutely phenomenal. But I mean, look at it. It's just very cool, and it's showing the reveal trailer from the PlayStation press conference over and over again, because that's what you do. Resident Evil Biohazard. So interestingly, it's called Resident Evil 7 Biohazard in the UK and Biohazard 7 Resident Evil in Japan. Make of that what you will. Back to the 2K booth now, and opposite is Warner. So Warner, we've got the press PR entries. It's where you go if you've got an appointment, so you don't have to queue. And what queues they are yet again. That's for Injustice 2. And one of my personal highlights of the show is LEGO Dimensions, the Year 2 content, which we've seen everywhere. So people are queuing because they know you get something free. You get a free green arrow if you queue up. I think that might be exclusive, which isn't great for people that have absolutely no way of attending E3, but for those that do and report on LEGO Dimensions, yeah. So this is Warner. We have then got Ubisoft. Also LEGO Star Wars with a large Kylo Ren. So we'll just make our way into Ubisoft now. Give the Year Awards for Game Show Awards, sorry, for Steep. Again, mainly E3 is essentially demo pods, queues, and sweaty people. Just going to basically get myself in here and do a quick 360. So we have Watch Dogs 2, which is a stage demo. We have press bit. Over there we have the stage. We have South Park, which is a theatre demo. And Ghost Recon and For Honor. Back in a sec. And this is the 2K booth. This is without a doubt the most insane booth at E3 this year. They're showing off Mafia 3 primarily, and when I can get to the point, this is just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, they've set it up like Bourbon Street in New Orleans. It's just phenomenal. We'll come back around to that one in a second. I'm just going to basically walk all the way around and through. So here we've got Square Enix. Square Enix obviously showing off a lot of Final Fantasy stuff. Dragon Quest, Kingdom Hearts. Is it Kingdom Hearts? Yeah, it's something Kingdom Heartsy. It's not Kingdom Hearts 3 though, it's Kingdom Hearts 2 HD. Got a few more games from them. Deus Ex as well, they're also showing some Hitman. Hitman, one of my shouts for Game of the Year so far. It's absolutely amazing. So of course, you do have incredibly large screens. So, Square Enix collectibles, if you fancy buying any of that stuff. We've got the International Game Developers Association, where you can scan your face in 3D. Let's just bump the white up a bit. So here we go. These are again the smaller little booths. We're going to go swing back around again in just a second. So essentially we've got Pico VR, little VR company there. We've got Thrustmaster, guys who make your steering wheels and stuff, which includes the ridiculous but awesome F1 steering wheel that we had got yesterday. Maximum Games, a little developer there. Developers of Road Rage by the looks of it. So we've got the E3 College Game Competition, There's an art exhibition over there which is quite cool, but we can't really go into that right now, mainly because I'm a bit strapped for time. So what we'll do is, for some reason, Samsung have a booth here this year, showing essentially VR kind of things right here. And perhaps most bizarrely of all, T-Mobile have a booth at E3. I think I've not yet seen crazy Watch Dogs robot that you get in a collector's edition. However, I'm guessing probably not that size. Right, so we'll swing back by the 2K booth, and that'll wrap up the booth tour for E3 2016. It's an odd year. There's not a huge amount. Previous years, like, these floors have been absolutely jam-packed. I mean, it's still busy. I'm not gonna make any bones about that. But you see the floors. There's massive gaps in between between the booths when there wasn't before. You know, it was kind of fairly narrow walkways. Yeah. Right. So here's the Twitch booth. But as I say, we'll just take one final look at the 2K booth. Now, the 2K booth, essentially they've had people on that balcony throwing little beads and things like that off the roof, just like you would in New Orleans during Mardi Gras. So we'll pop in. I'll just showing the Mafia 3 trailer there. Got a photo booth if you want to get some photos done. There is a band that come on stage every so often. They're fantastic. If you want your fortune told or your palm read, it's right there. So again, we'll go through there. Again, another fortune teller right there. It's bloody loud in here. Then we've got a cinema with the Mafia 3 presentation. And again, because it's E3, there is another huge queue. So, I mean, really, they've gone all out with this booth. It's fantastic. I can't get to it, but this area here is filled with all kinds of old school TVs. So I started with the shot, and I'll probably finish with the shot as we look up at the 2K booth for one last shot, because it looks amazing. And then back down to Square Enix. That is E3.